Hey garden friends, welcome to another episode of AJ's Green Thumb. So in this episode, I'm about to share with you guys a Caladium and Colocasia and Alocasia haul. I'm making that next move with AJ's Green Thumb, and I decided to go ahead and get some merch. What is merch? It's short for merchandise. So I'm just testing this out. I just basically printed out my logo on a ball cap and a collared shirt. So we'll look at that in a little bit. So first, the Caladiums. One thing I must say is when I started this channel a little bit under a year ago with hardly any followers, one video really stood out apparently, and it pretty much put me on the YouTube community map. It was my fascination with Caladiums. So I'll go ahead and link that video up here. First thing I want to do before I talk about the Caladiums is mention where I got it from. The website is called FloridaBoysCaladiums.com. They have a wide assortment of caladiums and other tropical tuber forming plants. So the way I'm able to tell the difference between a Calocasian and Alocasia, all the leaves tend to go up. So I say Alocasia up and Calocasia down. So right here I happen to have a Calocasia, all right? The leaves tend to tilt downwards. And so that's the way I'm able to tell the difference between Calocasias and Alocasias. So first thing I'm going to talk about here are the Caladiums. So I went ahead and got 25 Dragonheart Caladiums. The Dragonheart Caladium has a bright red center, and it has medium green margins and slight green veins. This Caladium gets to a foot to a foot and a half tall. It takes shade to part sun conditions. The Dragonhearts are some of the most common Caladium varieties out there. You know, it's widely used in the gardening community. The next one I have is another red variety. It's called Red Flash. Okay, so Red Flash is a gorgeous Caladium. It gives off a very Christmas or holiday vibe, I guess you can say. It has some of the largest leaves in the Caladium family. It gets to be 2 or 3 feet tall in maturity, and it also takes sun to part shade. I got 25 of those as well. Then I have White Queen. I got 25 of those as well. And White Queen Caladium also goes by Angel Wings. It starts off pink and then it fades to a very soft white. Then, as it establishes itself, it has deep pink veins. So it's a very pretty Caladium. It gets to be 1.5 to 2 feet tall, and it takes more shade and filtered sun. So typically, the lighter the Caladium, the less sunlight it can withstand. Next one I have is Pink Cloud. Pink Cloud has kind of a bubblegum pink color splotches, and then it has medium green margins. Very attractive Caladium. It gets to be 1.5 to 2 feet tall. Now we move on to our elephant ears. So this right here is a Calocasia bulb. It's heavily ribbed, and the tubers tend to be relatively firm. A lot firmer than the Alocasia tuber bulbs for some reason. So again, Calocasias, cow down, Alocasias all up. That's just how I remember it. So these are the ones that end up looking like this. Hope you guys can see that because it is starting to get a little dark. And here's an alocasia tuber. So here's a Caladium tuber in my left hand, and here's an alocasia tuber in my right hand. So you see the difference. Okay. The best time to put these bulbs in the ground in the mid-Atlantic, because I'm in Maryland, zone 7A, would be late May. You can push it and go as early as mid-May, but we still happen to have nighttime temps that go around 40 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's just a little too chilly for these types of plants. So yeah, guys, those were my bulbs, and I just wanted to share that with you. So let's talk about the merch, shall we? Because this is my first time opening it up in front of you guys. It's like Christmas in May. All right. I tell you, it doesn't get more official than when you actually get merch. I wanted to hold off on getting the merch until I was able to establish myself a little more on YouTube. So I went ahead and got a black hat with the logo. I kind of went back and forth with Vistaprint, which is the company I got it from, because the lettering of the tagline, which is enhancing your view together, was supposed to have been a lot smaller than this, but this is just the first round, so I went ahead and got a sample hat just to see how it would look, and it doesn't look bad. I think one thing that should change is the insignia, or the emblem, should be a little bigger. So you guys tell me what you think in the comments. What you guys think? I actually like it. Looks really good. Again, I'm going to have to revamp the lettering for the tagline, because although from a distance you can't really tell, you know, from a distance, from, let's say, from arm's length or whatever, all you see is the insignia. But when you come up on the hat and you read the tagline, I think it's just a little bit too, I think it's a little too big, because the name AJ's Green Thumb is the same size as the lettering for the tagline. I don't too much like that, so I'm gonna run back to Vistaprint and kind of revamp that. All right, so I also got a couple of polo shirts, a couple of collared polo shirts. Let's go ahead and try that on real quick. Not bad, not bad at all. Kind of thought the insignia would have been a little darker, but okay, it's a good look. It's a good look, I think. All right. So you guys let me know what you think down in the comments. Again, I'm just sharing with the community. I'm pretty excited. In a few weeks, I'm gonna have a big announcement. All right, guys, so stay tuned. And thanks for hanging with me on this quick episode. And I'll see you in the next one. AJ's Green Thumb. I still got the camera rolling. Forgot I got another package. As you guys can tell, I'm a pretty big nerd. I pretty much grew up that way. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and some of the projects I'd have to do for my parents when I was in grade school was, well, in New York we call it junior high school. But what I had to do was read a book a week and do a book report on it. So I was a pretty studious kid. So anyway, two of the garden books that I recently purchased. This one here is titled The Vegetable Garden Pest Handbook, and it's by Susan Mulville. Shout out to Susan. I'll go ahead and leave her link to her YouTube channel in the comment section. She's a very resourceful YouTube creator. I look at her videos a lot. She's very practical, and she has a lot of practical advice. And I'd just like to congratulate her on her first book. I'm also heavily influenced by a lot of British or English gardeners and garden personalities. And one of them is Monty Don. He has a host of books that he's authored within the last several years. And this one here is called The Complete Gardener by Monty Don. So, I mean, if you're a part of the gardening community, you have got to have heard of Monty Don. If you haven't, I behoove you to go ahead and look him up on YouTube. I mean, it'll open the window to a whole new world of gardening. So, and with that being said, thank you again for joining me on this episode of AJ's Green Thumb, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.